Good afternoon, happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. Oh my goodness, guys, we had a crazy day today. We went out to the grocery stores and we were going like just to Valley Produce in Caputo's, and we were gonna go to Jewel, but we had to stop at Kohl's. My dad needed to get a shirt and tie for the wedding tomorrow, and my Jack needed pants and like possibly a shirt. And then I ended up getting actually a jean jacket at Target because we went over there then because my dad needed also jeans, and the jeans were going to be cheaper at Target than they were going to be at Kohl's. So we went over there and picked some of those things out that we needed, just like clothing attire wise for tomorrow. So then, guys, we get home and I was trying on my outfit for the wedding tomorrow. And I was in my outfit and all of a sudden Bliss comes in my room and she puked. And it smelled very peculiar to me. And it smelled very minty. And I told Jack, I was like, Jack, were you watching the dogs while we were gone? You know, or with my mom? My mom was actually taking a nap. And so, the puppies were upstairs with Jack and Bliss was downstairs. Originally she was upstairs with Jack and then she was barking, so Jack let her downstairs, because sometimes if she's upstairs and she needs water or something like that, she'll bark. But she's also very smart, and if there's something that she wants to get into while nobody else is home or, you know, around or really paying attention, she will bark and Jack will let her downstairs, and then she'll get into something that she's not supposed to be getting into. Well, guys, there's like, you know, the house is pretty clean. There's nothing for her to really get into. Except my mom left her purse on the kitchen table. And it was up on the kitchen table. And Bliss had knocked it over. And Matthew came home and found my mom's purse was on the ground, picked up all of the stuff that was inside of it and everything like that, and put it in the, the stuff back up on the table along with her purse. Well, Bliss had gotten into a package of gum that had, it was a 40 pack of gum, like one of those bottles, and it had maybe about a little less than half or so of the gum left in it, and she had ate the gum, and that's what she threw up in my room, and that's why it smelled so minty. So of course, as soon as I smelled it, I kind of figured out what it was, because I had saw that it was on the table along with my mom's purse. And so I went in there, and sure enough, I found the container along with the stuff Matthew had picked up off the floor and saw that it was completely empty. And like I said, I just seen it either this morning or yesterday night or something like that, and noticed that it had maybe about half of the container was left. And Matthew said that he took a piece of gum or 2 pieces of gum out of my mom's purse, out of the container, and had put them back in her purse. Before he ended up was going with his girlfriend's family out to dinner tonight. And so then he left. I don't know what ended up happening, if, like I said, if Matthew ended up leaving, and he said he picked this stuff up when he got home and then before he left or something like that, or he got gum earlier or sometime like that, and then I don't know if Bliss knocked it off again and ended up getting the gum again, or if the gum was then out of my mom's purse and Bliss ended up getting the gum off the table, how it ended up happening. And unfortunately, this gum has a hugely toxic like chemical in it, or, you know, substance, I guess. It's a sweetener that is highly toxic to dogs. Luckily, the puppies were upstairs with Jack the whole time, so they didn't get into it. And so we ended up, she threw up, and once we figured out what she had thrown up and what she'd eaten, my mom searched, and the main ingredient in this gum is a sweetener. It's, I think, the icebreaker gum, the something icebreaker mint gum or something like that. And it is the, like, sweetener, I guess, in it is like xylitol or something. And it's a sweetener that is like harmless to humans, but to dogs, if they have, which this one has, I guess, like the most per like milligram per, you know, whatever it is, and it's, like I said, highly toxic. And at the amount that she ate, which was maybe about, like, we were thinking 14 or so pieces, like I said, it was like a little less than half probably of the bottle, which would have been 20, was half of it. she ended up eating and ended up, like I said, threw most of it up, and from what we assume, but we had to take her there because what it does is it drops their blood sugar so low that they can go into like liver failure, and that I think they said like at her size, but she's a 70-pound dog, eating 2 of those would make her hypoglycemic. And so having 14 of them is when it could become, you know, dangerous and stuff like that. So luckily we got her to the vet, and they're keeping her overnight, possibly for 2 nights for 48 hours, for observation. And they're gonna pump her with an IV full of like sugars to raise her blood sugar back up. But yeah, guys, it was scary today. She was totally fine. She was more, I think, freaked out because she threw up. I've told you guys in the past, if she's had like an upset stomach or something like that and she throws up, and then on top of that too, she ended up peeing on the floor, I think, because she was so scared that she threw up, and then she peed, and she knows she's not supposed to pee in the house. So I think that scared her a little bit more too. So I think she was just more like frightened that she did something she wasn't supposed to do, or just was like uncomfortable and stuff like that from throwing up and everything. And I honestly, guys, because Charlie ended up peeing in the hallway too today, right when we got home from going to the grocery stores. And so he had done that. I think she just peed because Jack didn't take her outside. And so then she ended up peeing, I think, because she got scared because she threw up, and then was more scared that she peed in the house, which she's not supposed to do. And so she's like, yeah, she was just a little, I think, more freaked out about that. Then when we took her to the vet, we were trying to get her exact weight. So we tried putting her on 2 different scales. Both times she ended up peeing because she was so scared. Which is so weird because Bliss is not the type of dog that is scared or anything like that, or like, you know, she acts like such a tough dog when she's in our house. As soon as you get her outside and, you know, you take her on a walk or something like that, she's looking at the neighbors and she's looking at other dogs, and like, and she doesn't bark when we go on walks or like anything. She doesn't chase squirrels. She doesn't get all like freaked out. She's in the backyard, she's in the house, she barks at every single thing and person that even gets close to the house. Even if they're like walking across the street, she still winds up barking at them. Not even so much across the street. I think she realizes that they're on the other side of the street, so she doesn't bark. But if they're on our side of the street, on our sidewalk side, she winds up barking. But the puppies bark at just about anything that moves. Like I said, she's just more of an in the house type of person. So I think she was scared being there at the vet and everything like that, more than anything. But before we left her, they ran her blood test, and they actually said, he said that she had like a little, her potassium level was a little bit lower, and that's one of the like few liver tests that they did showed a little bit like possibly peculiar, he said. But that one he kind of just threw out because unless it's consistently saying something, or unless all the other ones are, it's not really much of a concern. So luckily, like I said, it wasn't like, you know, they saw something that was just horrible. And she wasn't, like I said, she threw up the one time, but from what my mom read, it was that if she's like profusely throwing up and stuff like that, then like that's really not good. But they said that, like I said, they'll keep her on IVs and everything like that, and that, you know, she was looking really good. She, like I said, didn't seem too out of the ordinary, other than she was scared of being in the car, she was scared of getting on the scale, and she was scared of getting like they had to take her temperature too, which she actually did pretty well on that, until my mom was like petting her, trying to, you know, kind of calm her down and everything like that. And then the guy was taking her temperature, and then like about 30 seconds into taking her temperature, I think she realized what was going on and tried to sit down. So yeah, she was, like I said, overall, other than like, I think just the being freaked out part and the upset stomach thing and everything like that, she didn't seem off or, you know, anything like that. The weird thing was though, when I put her gentle leader on before we took her to the vet, and she didn't want to get out of my chair, which I think it was partially because, like I said, she was kind of scared. We were all a little bit freaked out because we were like, holy cow, like what did she eat? Like my mom's like, we have to get her to the vet. They called the vet and the vet said, yes, bring her in. So basically, like I said, they'll keep her between 24 to 48 hours unless her, like, you know, she has really crazy like blood results or something like that. And if she does, then they'll keep her for possibly like up to 5 days. And if not, they'll, like I said, we'll probably get her home either tomorrow or on Sunday. And then she has to go in for like a couple follow-up just to check to see like blood tests and everything like that, and to see like liver and, you know, things of that nature, I guess. But they said that the best thing was that she came in, and that they'll, like I said, get her the sugars and stuff like that, that they need to bring her blood sugar back up. But like the way the doctor was describing it, it was like for like a diabetic that ends up taking, like, shooting a whole bunch of insulin or taking a whole bunch of insulin, and then just like, you know, that's really not good for you. So what they need to do is give her sugar to bring her blood sugar back up. So yeah, like I said, the blood result, the blood tests look pretty good, and they also said that they'll give us call us tomorrow with like an update on how she's doing, but that as long as like nothing drastically ends up happening overnight or anything like that, they're not going to call. So we haven't gotten a call at all so far tonight, so that means that she is most likely just, you know, steadily being okay. But again, she was totally fine. She went into the vet's office and everything like that. I think she was a little bit more scared of being there than anything, but she was okay. It was just, it's crazy, guys, how, like I said, you know, the dog's gotten into things before, but the vet was even saying too how in like Bravo and Charlie's size, 1-2 of those would have ended up, you know, like seriously doing damage to them. But in her size, the amount that she ended up eating, again, can also do some damage. But that sweetener is actually put in a whole ton of other things. It's put into, he was saying melatonin, and that it's also in like some peanut butters. It's in like a lot of different things that you don't necessarily know, and that they can all be toxic to dogs. So that's why it's, I think, just, I tell my mom this all the time because she likes to, oh, I'll just give the puppies a little treat of my human food. But human food is not safe for them because you don't necessarily know all the time what is in it. And if, you know, you can eat it and it's perfectly fine, but a dog might not be able to. And so it is, you know, can be very toxic to them. Even just a piece of gum, you drop it and think, oh shoot, I dropped it and the dog ate it. In that particular circumstance, that is, you know, again, highly toxic, especially for a small dog. He says that he's seen small dogs eat, you know, again, about the same portion per, like, what would be the same amount per their body weight of this, but he said that the type that she ate was the worst, like milligram or something like that, that has per, you know, whatever ounces it is per piece of gum, and that it's probably the worst that, of that particular type that they can eat. So yeah, but like I said, he said that he's seen it in smaller dogs too, and that he's treated it. So knowing that it's actually pretty common that dogs actually end up eating this kind of sweetener a lot is like kind of scary. That, again, certain things that dogs wind up getting into that you might not know, or, you know, think, oh, you know, it's something that we can consume, they can consume it too. Or even too, like I said, peanut butter. You think that peanut butter is safe to give to dogs. I mean, my mom all the time too, like, she'll either use cheese or she'll use peanut butter to give them their pills. And like, that's not safe either, you know, in some circumstances, if it has that particular sweetener in it. And again, things of that nature can just be, you know, you don't even necessarily notice that something like that is, you know, you think like grapes and dark chocolate are like the two worst things for a dog, but not necessarily. He was saying it's like almost the same as like them consuming rat poison. Like, that's kind of how you have to take it. So again, that we got her there and that she was again, not showing any signs or anything like that after we got her there. And between the time that she had consumed it and then, that again, she wasn't really showing any signs or symptoms or anything like that, was again pretty good. But it's scary, guys, and it also makes you think about like just having gum in your purse and your dog gets into something like that can be like literally life-threatening to your animal. So yeah, guys, take that as a public service announcement. Make sure you're very cautious about, you know, again, things like that, because I didn't know about any of that kind of stuff. Mom was Googling, you know, the ingredients that were in there, and luckily, you know, if not, we would have been like, oh shoot, like she ate something she's not supposed to and she threw it up. But again, my mom searched that up and we found out that she should get to the vet, getting the help she needs. And the vet was like super amazing too. We had to take her to like an emergency vet, but like I said, the guy was like super nice. And like I feel like as a vet, you know, you're dealing with like a lot of family members too, because Matthew had came from dinner with his girlfriend, and then I was in the back seat with the dog, and then my dad and mom were both driving. Jack stayed home with the puppies, and then we got there, and you know, like dealing with family members and stuff like that is just kind of like crazy, especially I feel like an intense time for that when your pet's in the emergency vet and you know, that kind of stuff. But he was just like very chill and like trying to like kind of like not calm us down, but I feel like the way he was like talking and everything like that was very like reassuring, and that, you know, he's like, I see this a lot, and you know, it's not something to take lightly, but it's also, you know, we know how to treat it and everything like that. So again, it's a good thing. I'm happy we have an experienced vet. But yeah, it was actually somewhat of a drive to get there, like probably close to about 20 minutes. So that's why, guys, I got home from the grocery stores and I wasn't able to get much else done. I literally put dinner in the oven, and then all of a sudden this stuff was like, we had to take it out before it was even done because we had to leave to go take Bliss. So yeah, guys, it was a crazy afternoon. And then tomorrow we have the wedding, and then we might be able to get Bliss home tomorrow or else on Sunday. It's already started off to be a crazy weekend, but I'll see you guys on tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a little thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.